Good evening, I'm Lou Goldstein and welcome to another edition of Focus On. As we begin our second season, the show tonight focuses on higher education. And I'm very privileged tonight to have as my guest Dr. Patricia Donahue, the president of Mercer County Community College.
Good evening, Lou. It's great to be with you.
Oh, it's great to have you here tonight. And Dr. Mary Ellen Caro from Thomas Edison College, who is also the vice president for enrollment management and learner services. So Mary Ellen, thank you for coming.
Delighted to be here with you and my colleague.
Before we get started with asking a couple of questions and talking about what's going on in higher education, I'd like to talk and let the audience know a little bit about both of you so they have a good idea. I know Dr. Donahue has served as the president of Mercer County College since 2007, and she has been president of Mercer County College. Before that, she served as the sixth president of Luzerne County Community College and vice chancellor and acting president out in St. Louis Community College. While at Harrisburg Area Community College, Dr. Donahue served as Vice President of External Affairs and Community Development, Interim Dean of the Lebanon Campus, and as Dean of the School of Business, Engineering, and Technology. She also served as Director of Institutional Research and Planning at Lakeland Community College. In addition to her administrative career, Dr. Donahue has teaching experience at the high school and at the university level, and has also served as a special consultant to Moldova for the United States State Department. Dr. Donahue is an author, well-known speaker, the recipient of numerous awards, and is active in many associations, and earned her bachelor's degrees from Duke University and her master's and doctoral degrees from the University of Missouri at Kansas City. Mary Ellen is the vice president for enrollment management at Thomas Edison, and Thomas Edison is a state college in New Jersey created exclusively for adult learners. Dr. Caro joined the college in 2004 after a successful 25-year career at AT&T, where she was an officer and vice president leading global business units. She served as the college's first dean of the School of Business and Management, and in 2007, Dr. Caro was named executive vice provost, responsible for strategic partnerships, corporate higher education programs, military education, graduate studies, and mentor support services. She has her master's degree from Rutgers and Stanford universities and a doctoral degree from the University of Pennsylvania. Very impressive credentials, young ladies. Very impressive. So in starting tonight, I thought maybe you could talk to us about each of your institutions, what's going on there, and why students begin to choose their careers at each of your institutions. I think, Dr. Donahue, I'll start with you first.
Okay. Mercer County Community College is one of New Jersey's 19 community colleges. We are locally based. We're supported by state and by Mercer County. And we're grateful for that kind of support. Our goal is to meet adults or transitioning high school students at whatever their education level is and help them get the education to be both contributing citizens and also successful and productive in the workforce and the employment scene. To do that, we educate about 10,000 students in credit programs. Some of them are career programs, and some of them are designed for transfer to four-year schools. Many of those students end up transferring to Thomas Edison, my colleagues here. But we, in addition to the 70 degree and certificate programs in credit, we also have a section of pre-college work with existing high school and middle school students, also with adults who may have dropped out or they've immigrated, they're not ready for college level work, and we have coursework that can get them ready. And then at the other end, we also work with businesses providing training that may be very high-end training, or training in basic skills, or training in English as a second language, so that their current employees can be more successful and improve their productivity. So basically, we touch about 34,000 lives every year in those various educational programs, and it's really focused right here in our own region as we serve Mercer County and our surrounding area.
Great. Dr. Caro?
Yes, I'm proud to say that Thomas Edison is one of the oldest institutions in the United States that was chartered exclusively for adults. So we began in 1972 with a mission that has stayed constant to serve the needs of adults, people over 21. We are located in historic Trenton, but we serve students from New Jersey, from all the counties, and from around the world. As an adult institution, our mission is to provide high-quality, flexible options for adults who seek to complete their education at the associate, at the baccalaureate, or at the master's level. As such, we're about degree completion. Our students come to us not only in search of our programs, but because they have already taken college courses. They may be graduates from our county colleges. They may have testing that they've done as part of their business orientation that we can grant credit for. They may be military, have military education. We provide them with a portfolio of opportunities to move on and reach their goal, which may be a degree, it may be a certificate.
Okay. And how many students are currently enrolled?
We're proud to serve over 20,000 students. We have experienced tremendous growth in the last few years.
Sounds great. One of the things that I want to ask both of you is, the types of programs that are offered at each of your institutions. And I know a community college may be a way to get into a state college for many students. And I thought maybe you could talk about that, because a lot of times people don't know about automatic acceptances and programs that are offered of interest at each of your institutions.
That's really a great question, and as I started to say before, we have two different kinds of degrees. Career degrees are designed for people to complete 2 years of college level work, earn their associate degree, and go directly into the workforce. Our associate degree in nursing does that. There are associate degrees in network services, a whole array of programs that are designed to go straight to work, and those programs are advised by business. They keep our curriculum current, and they tend to be hands-on programs so students go out ready to work. About half of our students are enrolled in what we call transfer programs, and they are specifically designed to be the first 2 years of the same curriculum that a student would choose at a state university or other four-year college. New Jersey actually passed a law for transfer that said if students study in transfer programs and complete their associate degree, there is a high level of guarantee that all of their courses transfer into a comparable Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree. So New Jersey is really reaching out to help our students. We also work with individual colleges to put articulation agreements in place. Sometimes those are program specific. So we're likely to have a program for transferring dance students to Montclair or culinary students to Johnson and Wales. Those kinds of things, but we also have many other articulations. We actually have articulations with Thomas Edison that clarify just exactly what our students need, so their degree program at Mercer will provide exactly the right starting point at Thomas Edison or any of the other state universities.
So to just start from that point, at Thomas Edison, the #1 reason students come to us is because of our transfer credit policy. So as it relates to one of the colleges such as yours, we accept up to 80 credits in transfer. So a student who may be more comfortable taking a local course at their local community college could take their complete associate degree plus an additional 20 credits and transfer to Thomas Edison, complete their baccalaureate degree through that, through prior learning, through online courses, and through testing. We offer a portfolio of programs at the associates through the master's level. We have over 100 programs, areas of study. Those also have been influenced by the market and by what we understand to be the areas that are growing. For example, our accounting program at the baccalaureate level had been designed because we saw the gap in New Jersey in hiring accountants. And those students, our students, have the highest CPA pass rate, I'm proud to say. And so it's linked specifically to a need in the marketplace. Same for our nursing, and the same for our applied science and technology, which is one of the areas in which we've developed joint programs. But we also have another side, just like the many dimensions you talked about. We have partnerships with industry. One of the largest package transport companies focused on logistics has a partnership with us where we designed an operations management certificate for them. And in a modular way, you can take this certificate of 12 credits and put it right into your associate's degree or your baccalaureate degree. So in that way, an adult student can take their program in the way they want to. If they're only ready for a small bite, they can do it that way. Or they can take the full program. We've just introduced a master's in public service focused on a not-for-profit adult learners, a few different programs in the nursing department. So we have been adding to programs as the market has changed. We've also introduced not-for-credit programs in continuing education, which is also aligned with the needs of different sectors in the marketplace.
You find a lot of takers for these programs right now?
For all of them, yes, we do. One of the things that we do is market research on the front end so that we can anticipate needs and not just build field of dreams programs. If you build it, they will come. So they are very much linked to the market, but also very much tied to the highest academic standards and learning outcomes. All of our programs enjoy accreditation in their specific disciplines: nursing, educational leadership, as well as the regional middle states accreditation.
I just want to switch gears just for a second. I know the economy often plays a role in students attending college. You know, financial difficulties may often impair individuals who would like to attend college. So I just wanted to ask you right now, do you see, you know, the current economy, or the last economy has it's been for the last couple of years, has there been a downturn in enrollment? Has there been increased enrollment? Has there been any effect on your institutions?
Well, about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when our economy started to tank, as usually happens, our enrollment jumped up 10–12%. That was true pretty much across the state and across the nation. When times are bad, people come back to finish degrees they didn't finish, to study new skills so that they'll be the best prepared to be kept in their workforce or to be best prepared for getting another job as they move forward. They're retooling and improving, or many people take that as the opportunity to change careers. Well, if I'm out of work anyway, I'm going to use this time to study and go into this field I really love and wish I'd started before. So our enrollment jumped up a lot then. It's flattened off now, and we're finding this year that money is really a serious issue for people, that this lull in the economy has been so long that the safety nets have been pulled out. And we're seeing students taking fewer credit hours because they cannot afford to pay, or they have to work more. They've had to make up for somebody else who lost a job at home, or doing other responsibilities. So we know there's a serious impact. Now, we, like all of the colleges, provide financial aid. We're linked to the federal financial aid system, to the state system. The state tag grants are wonderful. We appreciate the New Jersey STARS scholarships that are provided for students. All of these things help our students, but at the end of the day, our students, most of whom live at home, better than 80% of our students are working. It's not unlike the adult population at Thomas Edison. And at the end of the day, they have to balance money and time somewhere.
How about at Thomas Edison?
We've actually seen an increase in the last year, a double-digit increase in new enrollments. But at the same time, through our market research and contact with our students, we're being told that cost and economic pressures are becoming much more important to them. So we're seeing that same trend. In the past, the #1 reason for students coming to our school was for personal fulfillment or to complete unfinished business. For the first time, we're seeing career advancement, marketability, career security jumping up to the top of the reasons that they're looking for education at Thomas Edison. And we're seeing cost jump up also in the attributes that they're looking for. We're really lucky to enjoy a very good value position. We've been named a Best Buy in several of our programs by Get Educated and provide an extremely affordable education. So we are seeing more students coming to us that may not be able to afford other programs. We also have a large contingent of students who are working who have the benefit of tuition assistance. What we're seeing there, though, is that many companies are scaling back in the number of employees that will have access to tuition assistance and the total amount. But that is still providing our students with an opportunity as well as financial aid, and most of our students do have some form of financial aid.
Okay, well that helps because not everyone can afford to pay for it, and they want to know what the opportunities are to offset the cost.
Absolutely.
I want to ask Dr. Donahue a question. Basically, at Mercer, I know you offer some enriching programs, the study abroad program, you have the honors program, and for those of us who are not totally familiar with those two programs, maybe you could, help us out there.
I'd be happy to do that. We restarted study abroad a couple years ago after 9/11, which all of us just observed. Foreign travel became very threatening, but in this era where we're trying to provide curricula so students understand the global nature of our world, global business, the interactions, it's very hard to do that without also saying you can study abroad, you can go see what it looks like. So our study abroad is linked to specific courses. They go with faculty to a country where they have assigned reading that connected to the course, assignments to do. Some of them include service learning. Our project that went to Costa Rica, the students actually lived in family homes and they helped clean up and rehabilitate a school in a rural area. So there was service learning, they were immersed in the Spanish language, but they were also learning cultural attributes. We have a program planned for next summer, time for people to find out if they're interested, to South Africa with Professor Eric Watson. That's really sounds like a great opportunity to learn about another part of the world that we read about in the paper and we hear about on the news.
We don't touch too often.
This is an opportunity to touch it, to learn more.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the honors program, and our honors program continues to expand. We're now allowing entering students to engage in it, and the honors program is courses that have been designated honors courses because faculty include special experiences, challenging curriculum or more challenging assignments. They push students to get out of the box and achieve at a higher level, often includes field trips and other things. And if they take the whole series of honors courses, when they transfer, if that university has an honors program, they're qualified just like native students to start right in that honors program as well. So we have students who start underprepared and we do special work with them, but we also have the highly prepared students and we have challenging opportunities for them.
That's good. That's good both ways, both for the high flyers and for those who need the assistance. That's excellent. One of the things I wanted to ask about Thomas Edison was, I'm asked this question every once in a while, and I want to make sure I have the right answer.
Okay.
Can a student who has life skills get credit for those life skills at Thomas Edison?
Absolutely. What we call that is demonstrating mastery, if you will. And that is part of our prior learning assessment program. A student who has acquired skills, let's say they've been working in marketing in a corporation or organization, and feel that they've mastered that subject, can take a prior learning assessment course What they do is over the course of 12 weeks, they demonstrate a series of proficiencies, and then they are awarded credit. We also award credit for training and testing, military in particular, and many corporations that do training have had their training assessed by the American Council of Education, and also we do the same kind of testing and then awarding of credit.
Okay. And so the answer is yes then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's another one of those reasons, you know, of the top 5, transfer, also credit for prior learning.
Right. Now, I know you both have special events at your institutions that happen on occasion, and whether they be open houses. And I was wondering if there's any special events coming up at your institutions that everybody should know about.
Well, our Board of Trustees annual report to the community is scheduled for November 10th. It begins at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's actually held in our conference center on the West Windsor campus. And this is a particularly interesting event because it's a living report to the community. Rather than just hearing a report, people move from station to station and interact with students from different programs or alumni from the programs. They see the results of what actually happens. It's a nice open house, so food and beverage is available, and the Board of Trustees gives out their awards then.
Okay.
But it's really a great opportunity for potential students and parents or businesses that are thinking about needs to come sort of on a first-hand, touch it, see it, feel it basis, learn about what goes on at the college, and celebrate with us the great things we do in the community.
Okay.
Sounds great. We have events all the time. We are a school that starts a term every single month. So essentially, in your vernacular, we have a semester, 12-week semester, starting every single month. So to relate to that, we have webinars and we have open houses on site, on State Street, throughout the year. The best way to keep up with that is www.tesc.edu, where we have scheduled events and information that's happening. We do have our commencement coming up October 15th. At the Patriots War Memorial here in Trenton, and it's just a wonderful event. Many of our students don't see us on campus until they come for commencement because they're doing a lot of their studying at a distance. So this is an opportunity for hundreds of our students come with their family and friends and have an opportunity to touch and feel Thomas Edison State College.
That's a great opportunity. October 15th at the War Memorial?
Yes.
What time is that?
It's at 2 o'clock.
Okay, for anybody who's interested, you know, that's a good place to go and a good place to check out Thomas Edison.
I'd say this, if you don't live close enough to our buildings on State Street, you can always get in touch with us through the web or the phone and have an advising meeting. Once you apply, you get an evaluation which tells you how many credits it might take to complete your degree. But you can also walk right in, make an appointment, and drop in and see us.
That's great. And I know Mercer has an open house for high school students and parents coming up soon in October. I think it's October 19th.
I think that's correct, and we have open houses periodically through the year. This one is particularly helpful. We also help students with financial aid applications, understanding that process. So when parents come with their students to the open house, they also get information about how to apply for financial assistance. We really try to jump in at the front end with the issue that both of us have talked about, and that's how are you going to pay for college? How are you going to have the money available when you need it? You can also find information about a whole array of events and lots of sports events with nine intercollegiate teams. If you go to our website at www.mccc.edu.
Well, I know both of you have great facilities because I know, especially at Mercer, I played soccer over there, you know, in the over 40 league there, and you know, great fields around there. And I know even those in downtown Trenton, you know, Thomas Edison is home to a lot of, you know, rich historical, you know, buildings.
Our buildings, yes,
yeah,
it
so
is.
it's great just walking around there. One thing I just want to take us on to a track is the recent jobs bill that's been proposed by the President to Congress. And in that jobs proposal, there has been set aside $5 billion. And that $5 billion is basically to help retool community college facilities. And I was wondering if that job proposal goes through as is, let's just say it goes through as is, and the $5 billion does come out, and you had some money to use, that came to Mercer County, what would be something that you might think of using that money toward?
Well, we've just finished both strategic planning and master planning. So we have a very clear list of things we need to do on both the Trenton campus and the West Windsor campus. Among other things, we've recently upgraded and restarted our engineering programs and engineering technology. We've added new programs like fashion design and game design and computer simulation and modeling things. So we have a long list of laboratories that need to be upgraded or new facilities we need in order to give students those really 21st century marketable skills.
How about at Thomas Edison? What are some of the vision strategic plans that you have in process right now?
Sure, and we can always use grants and other sources of support because we're looking out ahead and seeing that we'll need to be making additional changes to our infrastructure as well as our programs. Looking ahead, I'm really excited about what we've been doing. When you think about an adult learner, mobility is becoming more and more important. People have phones, they're mobile, they'd like their information in their hands. So to meet those needs, we've been developing an infrastructure that can deliver their courses on a flash drive completely. That flash drive can be used in Mercer County or by a military person overseas. Their whole course is there. They load it into a computer, a PC, a notebook, and they're able to download their course. We've also moved into electronic books. Makes it a lot easier for the student. There's an economic benefit for the student, as well as we're hearing flexibility so that they can make the most out of every minute they have. Our students study when the kids go to sleep, in the morning before the household gets up, and being able to be mobile is an essential component. So as we look forward, we see that mobility will continue to be one of the most important attributes of education to adults. In addition, our adults expect customer service equal or better to what they get at their local bank or somewhere else. These are very astute consumers. So our customer service has to be on a par with some of the benchmark customer service organizations in, let's say, the corporate world. So we're investing in an infrastructure that allows us to serve their needs, pull up their information, and work with them real time.
Very quickly, at the end of a lot of my shows, I say if you had to look into the crystal ball in 15 seconds, what's the one thing that you foresee for each of your institutions or would like for your institution, if you could?
Well, I certainly would follow that resource vein that there are so many students, there are so many people in Mercer County, because people of all ages are my potential students, that we need to be prepared. We still need the resources to keep changing our programs and following where the economy is going, where the workplace is going, so that we are in fact meeting the needs of Mercer County and our region.
And for us, we felt that we were breakthrough in 1972, serving adults and doing distance learning. We think there's another generation of that. We have a glimmer of it with some of the mobility things I've talked about, but it's really yet to come. So we're all about discovering what is the way that higher education will be delivered and what will it contain? What does general education look like in the 21st century? What does that core look like? And how do learning outcomes and the assessment of such move forward and evolve? So we're excited about the next 10, 15 years.
Well, it's an exciting time to be in higher education. And I thank both of you for coming on tonight. It was a very informative discussion, and I'm glad we had the discussion and you were able to allocate your precious time to everybody out there tonight. And thank you, everybody, for watching this edition of Focus On. Stay involved, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.
This program was brought to you through a grant provided by the Bank of Princeton.